Hello and welcome to the 5th episode for Lights, Camera, Action. I am your host, of course, as always, Jonathan Woodring, and today I have 6 stories for you. Firstly, we're going to be going over the Obi-Wan trailer, the Turning Red release on Disney+, Sonic 2 and its trailer, Elvis Presley and that movie trailer that came out, Star Trek and a new series that got announced, and finally, the Nope trailer by Jordan Peele. Before we get into that news, though, let's hear a word from our sponsors. Has any lady been looking for a place to exercise their health and maintain it? Well, Grace Bar may be the place for you. Located on Lee Victory Parkway in Smyrna, Tennessee, Grace Bar is a place where you can not only specialize in exercising your mental health, but also your physical and spiritual health. The very first class will be completely free. That's right, completely free. And every other class you have to pay for after that. So think of this class as like a demo that you go in, you experience the very first class. You can keep going whether or not you like it, or you don't have to keep going if you don't want to. That's the point of the free class. Thank you to Grace Bar for sponsoring this video. I will put a link in the description down below for your website. Our second sponsor for this week is, of course, Sweet Treats by Jess. Sweet Treats by Jess is a website that specializes in treats for not only holiday events, but also small events such as birthdays. Look at these treats on screen. That looks delicious. That looks delicious. I want to eat those right now. Jess Huber is the lady who makes those treats, and I'm sure she specializes just as much craft into making those treats as she does at being a nice person. So thank you to Jess Huber for sponsoring this video. I will put a link in the description down below. Now let's get on to the news. The Obi-Wan trailer is the very first story that we have, and it's obviously a show that has been teased for a while. However, on March 9th, it got its official trailer. And the show is about Obi-Wan after the events of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. However, he has to show his face again after his old apprentice, Anakin Skywalker, emerges as the Sith Lord, Darth Vader. The show stars Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen, Joel Edgerton, and many others, and it will stream on May 25th on Disney Plus exclusively. So, in regards to how I feel about this trailer specifically, I just want to say it's been a while since we've actually gotten Ewan McGregor on screen. I think the last time was 2005. That's insane. And seeing this trailer, he looks great, and I'm sure I'm going to really like his performance because, if I'm being honest, he was one of my favorite parts about those prequel movies, among, very little things, but that was one of the best things about it. So I'm really excited to see him. But the other thing that this trailer showed was actually very unexpected. I wasn't expecting the show to really include the Inquisitors from the show Star Wars Rebels, and I do think they are extremely faithfully adapted for a show of this caliber. They're continuing its hot streak of adapting the animated TV show characters and putting them on live action, and this is no exception. It looks really, really good, and I can't wait. Of course, I'm excited to see Ewan McGregor again, but I'm also excited to see where the story takes itself, because Hayden Christensen is back as Darth Vader, and that's something that's really, really exciting, because I may not have loved Hayden Christensen's performance, but I think him and many other people got a load of just unnecessary hate for really no reason. Like, they were basically just doing what George Lucas wanted them to do, and it's really not their fault. The very second story that we have is Turning Red. Turning Red was released on Disney Plus on March 11th. The show follows Mei Lee, a 13-year-old who is having trouble with becoming her own person. To make matters worse, she turns into a giant red panda whenever she experiences any extreme emotion. So basically, think of the Hulk, but instead of getting angry and turning into a green giant, it's really whatever extreme emotion she experiences, and she also turns into a giant red panda instead of a giant green Goliath. So, yeah. The movie, again, released on March 11th. In regards to this movie, I just want to talk about what I have seen from it, because I haven't seen this yet. Gratefully, on Disney Plus it is free, so I won't have to be paying some extreme fee, like $30. But another thing I wanted to talk about as well was how this got released. This was supposed to come out in theaters. I think I talked about this on one of my previous episodes, I think the first, maybe the second, or the third, I don't remember, but the point is, this was supposed to release in theaters, but for some reason, Disney got scared maybe because it was going up against Spider-Man and Batman. So they took it out of theaters and instead put it on Disney Plus for free. So, yeah. In regards to this movie, though, I really want to talk about the animated style of it all, the anime feel to it. I think it's really, really unique for a Pixar movie, especially because, yeah, the animation has always been beautiful, and they haven't ever lacked creativity. But to me, this is probably one of the more unique projects in a little while. As far as how I'm seeing, it's very anime inspired by like Japanese animation. So if you don't like that kind of animation, this is what that show or what that movie is. And I also kind of want to, as I said, talk about the unnecessary hate that this movie is getting. And I think it's very unnecessary that a movie like this is getting so much hate. I just don't understand. It could be because of the expressive nature of not only the animation, but also the voice actors. They are very, very... It takes that style of everybody being flamboyant and weird and out there. So certain voice actors are going to sound like they're overacting. It's one of those movies. So if you're not into those kind of flamboyant, stylized movies, this probably won't be for you. But I really want to check this out. And I will at one point, I promise. So the very next story is Sonic 2. This is the sequel to the video game movie Sonic the Hedgehog, and it just had its final trailer drop on March 14th. The sequel to the video game movie Sonic the Hedgehog just had its final trailer drop on March 14th. The film is about Sonic the Hedgehog as he gets more comfortable with living in Green Hills. Along the way, he meets a new sidekick named Tails, a reemergence of Dr. Eggman, who is played by Jim Carrey, and an appearance from a new foe called Knuckles, who is also played by Idris Elba. The movie will release in theaters on April 8th. So in regards to this movie and how I feel about this movie, firstly, I have not seen the first one, which is probably a big deal because I don't have context. The only thing I know about that movie is that Jim Carrey was trapped on some alternate planet, and Knuckles made an appearance in the post-credit scene, which is probably really the only thing I need for this movie. However, in regards to Sonic and it as a franchise, I don't care too much for it. Like, it's never been one of my favorite franchises in the world. It's definitely one of the most popular, and I can definitely respect it in that regard, but it's not really my favorite franchise. As a film, it's really hard to get a video game movie well at all. I mean, just look at Uncharted. The IMDb and the Rotten Tomato meter for both of those aren't very good because those movies, it's really hard to get them to work, video game movies especially. But somehow, it's probably due to Corona when this movie came out, which is, I think, 2020, early 2020. It was successful enough to make a sequel. And that's fine. I think that makes sense. That's understandable. And I have respect towards these movies, but I probably will never watch them in regards to my opinion. But if you do want to watch them, if you are a fan of it, it comes out on April 8th, so don't miss it. The next movie that we have to talk about is Elvis and its trailer. So a trailer for the latest biographical musical drama, Elvis, just dropped on February 17th. The movie stars Austin Butler as Elvis and Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker. The movie will release in theaters on June 24th. In regards to this movie, it looks very, very well made, which I can say for most other biographical musical dramas. Just look at Bohemian Rhapsody or that one with Elton John. I don't remember what it was called. I think it's Rocket Man. That one was really well made. Some of them are good. Some of them not so much. But, so this could go either way. It could be a really good movie and a really inspiring movie about Elvis and his journey. Or it could not be much about anything. In regards to this movie, though, Tom Hanks, I wanted to talk about him, and this is kind of what perked my interest, is Tom Hanks. Not only is he a great actor and do I just like him, I think casting him in this movie was not a mistake at all. I think, well, I mean, it was clearly intentional, but I think I love the meta reason behind it. And the reason I think he was cast in this movie was because if anybody's seen Forrest Gump, he obviously, in that movie, the kid version of Forrest Gump had a big influence over Elvis Presley. And he did a dance that Elvis replicated on live TV. Um, and obviously, Tom Hanks was Forrest Gump, so I don't think there is a coincidence there. I'm pretty sure that was intentional. And in regards to that, Austin Butler looks really good as Elvis. I mean, I don't really know this actor very well, and I don't know if he is an up-and-coming actor or not. I don't know too much about him, but I think he fits this role really well. He seems like he's doing a great job. This movie looks well made, and that's pretty much all I have to say about it. That and the Tom Hanks role. So June 24th is when it comes out in theaters. If anybody's excited to see biographical musical dramas, this is the next one coming out. So June 24th. In regards to the next movie, we have Star Trek Strange New Worlds. This is the recent installment in the Star Trek franchise. The show is about Captain Pike as he explores new worlds around the galaxy, and the show will start streaming this year on May 25th. Or, sorry, May 5th, my bad. And it will be streaming on Paramount Plus, if I'm not mistaken. So in regards to this movie, or this show, and Star Trek in general, I'm not a huge fan of Star Trek. Hasn't been my most, like, built to franchise. I don't know much about the show at all, but what I have heard from the fan base is that shows such as Star Trek Picard can go the bad way and just not be good adaptations of Star Trek, or they can go the good way and be the original Star Trek, the very first Star Trek J.J. Abrams movie I've also heard was pretty good. So there's good Star Trek out there, but there's also some bad Star Trek out there, so it's really difficult to tell nowadays what will be good and what won't, so who knows. This show starts streaming on May 5th, so if anybody's interested, May 5th. Nope is Jordan Peele's most recent movie, and this film is about caretakers in California that encounter a mysterious force that affects humans and animals and their behavior. The trailer dropped on February 13th, and the movie will drop in theaters on July 7th. In regards to how I feel about this movie, what I love about a lot of Jordan Peele's movies, Us is probably, I think, his most recent movie that has come out, and then I forget the other movie. I forget what it was, but they're both very, very unique in their concepts, and Jordan Peele is a really great director and filmmaker, and he has a great eye for these weird, like indie almost horror movies that feel so different and new and fresh in a good way. And this looks like it won't be an exception. This looks pretty good. I love how the main enemy and the main scare in this movie is just like a cloud, and we don't really know at all what it is. And that's unique because a lot of other horror movies have to feel like they have to have like a slasher or something. But certain movies are able to make do with just a mysterious force of some kind. Like Final Destination, there wasn't really an antagonist in that movie. The antagonist was death and the threat of death, pretty much. And that's kind of the same here. If there is a traditional antagonist, that could be a compelling twist made in the movie, but as far as we are led to believe in this trailer, it looks to be just a cloud. So Jordan Peele's a fantastic filmmaker, and I would be willing to watch this movie. So, yeah, in regards to movies, this looks pretty intriguing. Comes out July 7th, which, by the way, is around my birthday. So, I might check it out. Who knows? That'll do it for this video. Firstly, I want to give a big thanks to my two sponsors, both Grace Bar and Sweet Treats by Jess. Y'all have been with me to the end, and this video is no different. Thank you for letting me sponsor your videos. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you're new, and if you enjoyed this kind of content, leave a like if you liked the video. Comment down below as well. I would really be interested to see some of y'all's takes on these movies and how you feel about them. Try and keep it PG. I don't want to have to like go through the hassle of deleting comments or commenting back or anything like that. So just try and be nice, you know, common courtesy. That'll do it for this video though. Yeah, thanks guys. it's continuing its hot streak of taking from the animated show, and they are, I don't know if you hear that, but they are killing it out there. They are going nuts. My lord.